my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any trend. No, she's a global woman. Call Fire Marshal Bill. Like, let me tell you something. Flawless, beautiful. Follow codes down to her toes. Cuticles, picking rolls with the flow. Slam dunking all the goals. Silvers for the novice and golds for the pros.
What's going on, everybody out there in TV land, on YouTube and on Facebook Live? We come to you tonight to interrupt your regular scheduled program. Hey, y'all, we got a banger tonight. The mic is hot. The phone lines are ready. We about to get into this thing. But before we start, hey, Facebook, do me a huge favor. It's a little icon that says YouTube. Click on it. Go to the search bar. Type in Nutz, N-U-T-Z, and the and sign, Boltz, B-O-L-T-Z of life, and watch us live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, don't forget to click that like button. It's the thumbs up. Then slide your finger on over and press the subscribe. And don't forget to click the all so you get all of the notifications when we're going live or dropping new content. Lastly, share. You might ask, share this video to where? Well, most of us have Facebook, so that's where you can share it to, or anywhere you desire. Yes, right now, click the like button for me right now. Click the like button. We need everybody to click the like button. And also, don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys. Next, check out this little small clip of my apparel company. Stop Playing was created to motivate, inspire, uplift, and inform individuals about viewing life through an alternate lens. No two individuals travel the same road or embark on the same journey. Yet obstacles are faced by all. Despite the challenge, if you believe it, you can achieve it. By purchasing a shirt, you can be part of motivating and inspiring someone to achieve greatness. Come join the movement at stopplaying.net. Yes, come join the movement at stopplaying.net. It's more than fashion. It's a statement. Also, we're doing something new. Every time we hit the 200 milestone mark with subscribers, we're going to the chat and find one or two people and send them a gift. But you must be a subscriber to participate. I think right now we at about almost 200 subscribers. So when we get to that 200 milestone mark, we're going to go into the chat and we're going to send out some free gifts from us. Might be a gift card, might be some loot. There might be a Nutz and Boltz cup, a little cup we have for your coffee or your spirits or whatever you have. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Lastly, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to donate to us, there's a QR code right on the screen. All monetary gifts are appreciated. We thank you in advance for your gifts, but we understand that you might not be able to scan a QR code. So we got a cash tag at the bottom of the screen. The cash tag is $Nutz, N-U-T-Z, Boltz, B-O-L-T-Z 1. Again, it's $Nutz, Boltz 1. And with that being said, welcome to Nutz and Boltz of Life. I am the CEO of Stop Playing Apparel. I'm your host, Edmund Chapman, and I reside now in South Carolina. Obi, go ahead, Obi. Something wrong for Mike.
Okay, all right. My name is Obi. I reside in North Carolina. I don't have a clothing line, none of that. I'm just here to hang out, get some wisdom.
Thank you, Obi. And we got Kyra. She's figuring out her mic right now. Kyra is from California. She's our other co-host. Welcome, Kyra. Kyra, thank you for coming. Still can't hear you, Kyra. It's all right. Figure it out. And we're going to do our lady right next to me, to the right of me. Can you introduce yourself?
That me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. I'm Jackie, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome, Jackie. And we're going to do a young lady right on top of you.
Hi, I'm Nita. Good evening, everyone. And I am coming from the Midwest, Chicagoland.
Chicago's in the building. Then we're going to go to the lady at the top left corner.
Hi, my name is Kenya. I'm originally from Boston, and I live in Charlotte now.
Charlotte's in the building. And last but not least, we're going to go to the lady right below us.
Hi, I'm Tika. I'm from Chicagoland, from Robbins, from the hood.
Robbins, Rville, Mudville. Let's rep it. Welcome, ladies. As always, y'all know how we start this off with Ed's story time. So tonight's story time. There we go. Thank you for the graphic. Thank you, producer. Thank you. So tonight, Ed's story time is about self-respect. So about a couple of weeks ago, I went to a wine tasting venue in Charlotte by South Park Mall, and it was good vibes out there. We was out there drinking wine, sipping wine, tasting wine, smoking cigars, having a good time, engaging with everybody. It was all type of people from all different, nationalities and whatnot. And so this one person had a stand. This guy had a stand, and at his stand, he was selling suckers. But the suckers were in the shape of penises, vaginas, and butts. And we're like, all right. So I'm like, okay. So people's going over there laughing and talking with them. And it's, to me, it's something that you have, like if ladies having a bridal shower or some kind of little house party, it's cool. But this one lady bought one, and she bought the biggest one. And not only did she buy that thing, she opened it up in front of this whole crowd and starts going to town on it. And I'm just looking at her like,
wow,
that is not cute. And she was a sister.
Wow.
She was a sister. And so it was white people, black people, Hispanics, everybody's out there. And I'm like, why you? A guy, the owner, was videotaping it. So now that is going to be out in the world forever, in the internet forever. And I'm like, why would you sit in front of all these people sucking on this fake candy penis deal, whatever you want to call it, and going like, and you think it's cute. And I didn't think that was cute. I didn't think that was cool. Later on, I seen her. I said, man, did you put that sucker away? She said, yeah. I said, man, don't do that again. And I laughed. I made a joke about it, kept walking. But I think we need to start having more self-respect for ourselves when we out in the public, when we out anywhere, because if anybody see that and she try to get a different job, or she try to maybe run for a congresswoman or something, that is out in the world now. Everybody can see that. That's why I don't even do what I used to do on social media no more. I'll cuss you out on social media. I used to tag people and stuff, all kind of stuff. Now I talk about the podcast, I talk about God, and maybe some sports, because I'm mindful of I have a platform now and I have kids. So I don't want to be about to network with some billionaire or somebody and they like, oh man, I seen your social media presence. We can't do no business. And I'm mindful of that. And then I got a team under me, and I don't want to lose out on money or anything that we might have going on because I put something foolish on social media that's out there forever. It's forever out there. So at the end of the day, just have some more self-respect for yourself and be wise about what you put on social media, what you let people film you to put on social media, and what are you doing when you're out here in this world, because people are watching. And that young lady, they thought it was cute for the 10 seconds, everybody clapping and looking. But guess what? It's out in the internet for the rest of her life. And that's Ed's story time tonight. So, Obi, what we talking about tonight?
Ed, tough subject, man. Tough subject. But I think we both want the answers to this. So I'm going to be paying attention and writing a whole lot of notes. But the subject is, how can a man make a woman feel safe and secure? Ed, I know me and you, we got our own definitions of what that might look like, but it probably doesn't compare at all to what the actual list is. So I'm ready to jump into it.
That's good. So how can men, so we always hear this question all the time, or hear the women make this statement. Oh, I didn't feel safe with him. I'm like, what? Oh, he didn't make me feel secure. And I'm like, huh? Like, what did that mean? So I thought about it. I saw to Obi. I said, man, we need to have a podcast about this, because are women just saying these things? Do they really know what they're saying? Are they just making a general statement? Or what does it mean when they say, I didn't feel safe with him? Like, is he a creep? Was he not strong enough? What exactly that means? So we're going to open up the good black book, and we're gonna dive into this. So I'm gonna take the first one, Obi, then I'm gonna let you come with the second one. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
And we're gonna open up the phone lines early tonight too, because we want people to be able to call in. We're gonna jump into the chat. So the phone line is gonna be open in a few seconds, but I thought we just first question. We want to see what the ladies got to think about this. So, ladies, what does it mean to feel safe and secure? Like, what does that actually mean to you? Anybody can just dive into it.
I'll start off.
She ready.
Let's go.
She
Are
ready.
you ready?
Hey, let me get my notepad. Wait a minute. Let me get my notepad.
No, so for me, if I'm with a man, feeling safe and secure for me means safety, that I can be vulnerable with you. I can open up to you. I can tell you things that are maybe I may not be able to talk to anyone else about. And you are my safe landing space. That it's not going to be brought back up again, 6 months down the road because you're angry. That and knowing that it's a vulnerable time, it's a vulnerable moment, and I'm being open and vulnerable with you. That's a level of safety that I need to have if we are in a relationship and moving towards something, or even whatever. If I call you my man, I should be able to feel safe with you. Security comes in a lot of different forms, but security doesn't necessarily mean physical security. I need, because I think that's in most cases a given, that you probably will feel some level of physical security with your man, but the security that I would be looking for is security that you got my back. And that's financially, that's emotionally, that's spiritually, on all levels. I need to feel that you got me. So for me, that's what safety and security means for me.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
Anybody else want to chip in?
I want to hear from all the ladies. Actually, Ob.
Yeah,
I want to hear
me
what each
too.
lady got to say about this.
Me too. I'm writing notes. Hey, I'm writing notes.
Kyra, mic check. Kyra, you good now?
Test 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, you good. You good. We good. We hear you. So go ahead. We're gonna put it on you then. So you good. Come on in, sister.
So similar to the first person, for me, safety and security goes over multiple things. It goes over physical, it goes over psychological, it goes over spiritual. And a person can provide safety in one area, but not in another one. So you can be able to protect me physically if someone is coming for me, or you are honoring me, or making sure that no one does anything or harms me, or making sure that I get home safely, and saying, tap in when you get to your destination safely. Those are different things that can be done physically or verbally, but that same person that's providing that physical safety cannot be taking care of my heart and providing that emotional safety, or providing that psychological safety, where I'm not able to open up to that person because of the harm that has been done in the past. And I'm not able to let myself be vulnerable because I feel unheard or not listened to, or the problems that I bring up go unresolved or continue to happen. So one can happen without the other. And it's just in so many different areas for me personally as well.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
I think a mouthful was said between both young ladies, that it covers all facets of life. And if a gentleman is comfortable in his own skin and confident in his capability in providing safety for a woman, and with communication, that definitely can help enhance that. So I just piggyback on what both ladies have said.
Okay.
Same. I agree with Nita and all of the ladies. I would say first, if I can see that he has dealt with himself in whatever way that may be, whether it's things that have happened in his past, or he's actively working, going to therapy, or he has a relationship with God, or anything like that, where I can see that he's already been doing the work on himself, that I know that he wants to get better. He may not be perfect, because none of us are, but if I feel like I can start to trust you if I see that you have started to do the work on yourself. And then when it comes to me, as the ladies have said, I think the biggest thing for me is like the emotional part, or just the validation that if I have a hard time saying how I feel, or I've had a hard time saying how I feel in the past. And so if I take the step to tell you how I feel, and I do it in a respectful manner, my expectation is that you're not going to invalidate my feelings because you don't understand. It's okay to not understand, but come with a heart posture of wanting to be curious and see, like, okay, tell me from your perspective, what is it that you're going through? I may not understand, but I do want to at least get some type of insight into what you're feeling. So I guess the empathy part of it is something that I have been looking for in the past, and not always received, but it does make a difference just to say, hey, I hear you. I don't understand, but I'm willing to understand and walk beside you. I think that goes a long way with me, just knowing that, okay, we're in this together, and that, like, I don't have to be in it alone.
And just to add to, what the rest of the ladies said, I just feel like when I'm in a vulnerable state, I need you to be my Superman and come in a clutch, whether it's, financially, physically, emotionally, because, I don't need it just regular. I need my man to feel safe and secure. I need you to go above and beyond my needs when I'm in a vulnerable state.
And I just want to add something real quick, that it's not just about the words, it's about the words being followed up with action. Because you can say, I'm there for you. You can say, you can come to me in your time of need, or you can lay your head on my chest and tell me your problems. If you're not there for me to speak my issues to, if you're not actively listening, if I tell you that something is bothering that you're causing, and you continue to do it and it goes uncorrected, then the words that you say mean nothing, because the actions are not following it up.
Hey, Obi, we might have to turn Kyra back on, because she going to start cooking tonight, boy. Kyra going to be cooking.
Hey, they all cooking,
One thing I
man.
want to ask real quick, before Obi asks his question, if you're ready, Obi. I know a lot of these questions we're going to ask you ladies is going to be have some of the similar answers, but try for our audience, for me and Obi, people's going to watch this on the rebroadcast. Not to have the exact same answers, if possible. If possible. I know sometimes you're like, yeah, what she said, I agree with that. If possible. It might not be possible, because some of these stuff women might have similar mind state, but if possible, if you can add a little extra sauce on the top, just so we want to make these men better men out there, and we want to be able to save these relationships. Because if y'all don't know, and right, Obi getting his thoughts together, Nutz and Boltz is all about bringing back healthy communication between men and women. It don't matter what nationality you are or anything like that. I just want to bring back healthy communication. And I think the reason why so many people get divorced nowadays is because they don't communicate, and because they don't know each other, and they always thinking. I want to stop with the thinking and start knowing, start asking.
Okay.
I don't know what Jackie thinks. Jackie, what do you think about this?
Exactly.
We always on this. Well, I think that, and then later on down the road, they're like, no, that's not what I think at all, or vice versa. So stop thinking the man thinking, and men stop thinking the women thinking, and let's just ask the question and have the conversation. Go ahead, Obi, you ready?
Can I just
Go
interject
ahead.
with
Yeah,
what
jump on in.
Kyra
It's y'all
said?
show. Jump on in here.
I was just thinking about, as she made the comment about demonstrating. One of the other things I think is very important is that, men are always, they're typically used to being producers. I'm going to come and bring home the bacon. I'm going to do things. I'm going to provide, But if you're not present, that can become an issue too for someone who needs you to be there. I need you to be emotionally there for me, but I need you to be present while you're there emotionally. I need you to be there physically for me, but I need you to be present. I need you to be right here, right now, not in the past, not toward the future, but right here, right now. And a lot of times we tend to miss that as well.
Some good stuff.
Hey,
Good
Obi,
stuff.
real quick before you go. Hey, so the phone lines is open 704-891-9560. We want to hear from you guys. The phone lines open early tonight, 704-891-9560. And Facebook, y'all know how it is. I'm about to tune off. If you want to catch the rest of the show, catch us on YouTube. Go to Nutz and Boltz of Life. Everybody can get a YouTube. You don't need an account. Just go to YouTube, type in Nutz and Boltz, and catch the rest of the show on YouTube. All right, Obi, it's on you.
All right, so Kenya and everybody brought up some good topics like heart posture, insight, empathy, active listening. I mean, that's not words or conversations that guys have. So the question that I have for you guys is like, what can men do to practice active listening and genuinely consider a woman's perspectives on safety and security? And I'll repeat that. How can men practice active listening and genuinely consider a woman's perspectives on safety and security? Because I'll say, and I think I'm a great listener, and I think I'm a good conversationalist, and I think I have great communication skills. But just listening to y'all for the first 5 minutes, I probably don't.
So I think
Kyle,
that,
I saw your hands up.
yeah, I think the first thing is to understand what the word is, to have a clear understanding. And what I've learned recently is that sometimes a woman can have a definition and a man can have a definition of the same thing, and it is completely different. So step one would be being on the same page with a definition to both people. So to me, active listening is engaging in a conversation, listening both with your ears and with your body language. It doesn't mean sending text messages, watching a flick on Tubi, or having a side conversation with someone else. It's not constant interruptions with the fantasy football app because someone just got injured on your team. It's like,
wait a minute now, Kara.
Hey,
You
Did
going
that
too
step on your
fast.
toes, admin?
hey, come on now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kara. Go ahead, cook. I told you, cut a mic off, my Obi.
it's listening. And when you're listening, it should be listening to listen, which I've struggled with this and I'm a work in progress. It shouldn't be listening to respond. It should be listening to listen. So you shouldn't be forming a rebuttal in your head, or I'm gonna pull this out of my pocket and bring this out on her. It should be listening and understanding, tracking, and just really being connected through conversation.
And also to know that it's not a competition. Like when we're having a conversation, active listening is not only to, understand, but to be understood. And when we're having a communicating situation and I need you to be listening actively, I wouldn't even have a problem with you coming back and say, okay, this is what I think I heard you say. Because for me, communication is effective not only when it's spoken, but when it's heard in the manner which you're delivering it. Undelivered communication is what causes upsets. So I want to make sure that you are actively listening, but that you also understand what I'm saying.
So if a man has a rebuttal to something you're saying, do you feel like he's not actively listening?
I wouldn't say that it wouldn't be that he's not actively listening. I mean, and if it is something that requires or constitutes a rebuttal, there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to sometimes agree to disagree on certain things. So if you're actively listening to something that I'm saying and you have a rebuttal, if the rebuttal is, in a proper place, then we're good. If not, then it's really about, to what Kyra said, you're listening to respond with a position. And then we're into this, back and forth. You're right. No, it's not. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just saying and communicating my position at the time. So no, I don't think it's the rebuttal constitutes that you're not listening. It's just whether or not it's in proper placement.
Okay, let me make a statement, because I think that communication and argument can kind of flow into each other. And I would want us to kind of stay on the communication part versus the argument part. I think a lot of times in argument, that's when you get you're not actively listening, you're listening to respond kind of a situation. But if you're communicating, we're not arguing, we're not upset. We might have a difference of opinion, but we're just talking it through. And I think that's where the practice comes in, to practice communicating, listening. I always used to say, if you need to take notes while we're talking, so you can refer back to what I said, or to kind of ask questions about what I said, then absolutely take notes. And then we can go back, because a lot of times in communication, you want to listen, you want to actively listen. But I know, as far as the type of person that I am, my brain moves very fast. And so while someone may be talking, communicating, or even arguing with me, my brain is moving. And so I have things that I want to ask because I'm not clear. And so I'm always going to ask questions when I'm not clear. So what I've learned to do is take a note so I can refer back to it. And that way it doesn't come off as being a rebuttal or not actively listening. And I think it may come off a little bit better. But I think if we're talking about practicing, what can men do to practice to communicate better, to actively listen, I think taking notes is absolutely something that can be beneficial. And then that way you're not necessarily interrupting, because sometimes at a certain age, when you get interrupted, you lose your thought in the first place. So take notes and then kind of refer back to it. But then also be observant. Build that foundation so you really get to know the person that you're in a relationship with, and to be able to identify when that person needs your strength, needs your security. And I know that may come off as reading minds, but it's very important for men to really be able to identify when their woman is in a place where she really needs that security, that support from her guy, without having to come to him and ask for it.
And make sure when you are taking notes that you don't come off as, communicate that, so that we won't think that you are, kind of sneaking and watching fantasy football or checking whatever it is that you're checking on your LinkedIn profile.
Why y'all keep talking about football? My heart is hurting right now. It's hurting.
We are paying attention to you ladies.
Yeah.
Tonight, at least right now, we listening. We're engaging.
There's no Wednesday night football.
I'm taking notes.
All right, so I'm gonna dive into another. Oh, you got another one? You want me to dive into another one?
No, go ahead.
So I got another one for you ladies. So we had a show not too long ago. Well, Kyra, what you said about a couple of months ago when Kyra first joined the team, and we asked the ladies to rank. We had a list of things. We said, ladies, rank this list of most important to least important. And at the bottom of the list, most ladies said finances and education was at the bottom. So my question is, if a man does not make as much as you, would you still feel safe and secure with that man?
And think about that before you answer it, please.
Because a lot of women said, we took a poll of a whole lot of women, and all of them had education at the bottom, and what the man makes was at the bottom of their, and it was about 12, I think, Obi.
Yeah, and then don't forget, Ed, we went back and had another conversation later, and they flipped those answers at that next conversation.
So I would like to interject and add some context to what is being laid out and explain a little bit of why education and career were last. Because there were other higher priority values and characteristics that were on the top, like does he respect you, and
Right.
you right, spirituality or having a relationship with God, looks, attraction, different things like that. So because of other higher priority qualities, that is the reason that finance and education were at the bottom. And I personally don't think that because like where I'm at right now, it's not just, I mean, sometimes security, and if you're in a marriage, can be tied to finances. Like, is he able to provide, or are we able to take care of the bills and stuff like that? But I haven't been married. And so when I'm looking at someone's finances, I don't think that those necessarily go for me. I'm not tying those two together when I'm looking at someone that I'm talking to.
So, are you? If I'm catching this right, I'm trying to take notes and pay attention. You're saying that, so it's okay. So that doesn't necessarily mean you feel unsafe with him or don't feel safe with that guy because he makes less money than you make. That you'll be okay with that, and that as long as you got everything else you really need to make you feel safe and secure and feel loved and all the other qualities that you're looking for in a guy. What?
Is she talking? I don't hear nothing.
Obi, what are you doing?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Because you're trying to catch me up, and the answer is still that it's on the lower scale. But a person could make all the money in the world, and you are verbally abusive to your partner, and you don't make them feel safe, and you're physically abusive. So you can have all that money and you're a narcissist, and I don't feel safe, and I can't have a conversation with you, or you might have a bad temper and I can't come to you because I don't know if you're going to explode. And equally, you cannot make a lot of money, but be able to be approachable and have emotional intelligence, and you can provide that security emotionally and spiritually and psychologically, even though you're not a six-figure earner.
Okay, don't get attitude with me. Snap your head. This is a question. Next, lady, what do you think about that? If a man does not make as much money as you make or more than you, can you still feel safe and secure with that man?
Hold on, Ed. Just one question, Ed. Hold on for
Go
one
ahead, go ahead.
second. I'm
Jump
sorry,
in here.
Jackie. But Kyra, did you answer the question, Kyra?
I did.
She did. She did.
Okay.
Were you listening? Were you actively listening, Obi?
Yes, I was.
I
But
was,
you
and I'm
went,
taking notes. She did.
hey, you went all around the world for a yes or no answer. But go ahead.
I
I'm
brought
sorry,
context.
Jackie.
She did. She did that too. But
Yeah.
No, I brought
That's why men
context
get
to the
confused. That's how
question.
men get
Everybody
confused.
wasn't like, oh, you had a discussion 3 months ago and now you're bringing up a portion of what? What are we doing? No.
You're trying to catch you up. Go ahead, Jackie.
Like
I'm
you
sorry.
said, trying to catch you up.
Trying to catch her up.
So let me say this first, Obi. There has to be some context. That's what Kyra gave. She gave context. You can't just answer that question as yes or no. It's not that simple. So I'll make the disclaimer. If we are in a relationship, then you're not a narcissist. You're not emotionally unintuned. That you have all the bases to be in that relationship. So then I will say, I need you to meet me or exceed me financially. And that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but part of my security, finances are in there. And I have a certain lifestyle that I'm used to living. And I'm not gonna live less than that. So, as my man, yes, I need you to provide. And here's the thing, in order to be the head, you have a lot on your shoulders. And fortunately or unfortunately, however you look at that, finances is a part of that. And being able to make me, as your woman, feel secure, I need to feel like if I can't, you got it. Not that we gotta move, we gotta sell our house, and because I can't come up and provide for whatever reason. I need you to have it. So financially, you gotta meet me or exceed me.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, and I'll make sure I'm using my active listening skills. So let's just say you made, I'm just gonna do a low ball. You made 40,000, right? And he made 25,000, and it was able to cover y'all lifestyle. I'm just throwing a random number out. That won't be good enough for you because he don't make the 40 with you, or he don't make 50.
If I'm making 40 and he's making 20, he's not going to be able to sustain the
I'm saying the
lifestyle.
whatever lifestyle. Maybe I had a smaller lifestyle. I'm saying
Even if it's smaller, at 40, the lifestyle that you can create at $40,000, if you're putting them both together, it's what, 60, whatever.
okay, let's just go big then. I'm just trying to see. Oh, I'm trying
And
to downgrade.
no, but let me say, so the lifestyle that you're creating with the two of you together is about whatever 60. But me by myself at 40 has a certain lifestyle that $20,000 is just not going to be able to sustain. Now, $20,000, are we talking about just a base salary, or we're talking about your entire portfolio?
No, I'm just okay. So I'm just trying. I didn't want to throw a random number out there. So okay, whatever you make $250,000, and he makes $150,000. So he still don't make what you make. Is
Is he
that not
going to
okay?
be able to maintain the 250 lifestyle that I'm used to?
Okay, now I'm with you. Got you
Meet
now.
or
I
exceed,
got you.
Ed. Meet
I got
or
you. Now
You have to
exceed.
I
meet or
got her now.
exceed.
Okay.
Hmm.
So whatever she can use for her 250, 300, 60, whatever, he got to be able to match. Got you.
He's got to be able to maintain that. And so if he is unfortunately making less, if he doesn't have a portfolio to kind of compensate from other places, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not the one for you.
Okay. Next lady. What y'all think about that? Do I have to repeat the question? Did y'all forget? If a
Well,
man, oh, okay, go ahead.
well, I'm okay with a guy not making the same amount of money as me as long as he has hustle in him. Because I mean, as far as with being secure, I need him to be able to come in a clutch. So you don't have to make the same amount of money as me, but if I got a bill and I need a stack, I need you to go outside your regular job and be able to get that stack for me. And that's how I feel secure. I mean, because I maintain my own lifestyle because, I've, had the same lifestyle. I don't need to go up or down. So like a guy coming in wouldn't really deter my lifestyle if they make less than me. But I mean, if you don't have any hustle in you, then I'm only dependent on that amount of money. And if I won't feel secure, if I need something extra or because something happened and you can't provide for me, I won't feel secure that way.
Doesn't matter how he got that stack. How long he go get it.
Maybe as long as I can't be implemented in a crime, I guess it'll be okay.
As long as you can't. The key word is you can't. That's hey man, listen, we talking tonight. Let's go. Okay.
I mean, he know his limits, so I wouldn't push for anything illegal to happen. You know what I'm saying? We can go to the flea market and flip some shoes or something. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a lot of ways to make money outside your job that doesn't have to be illegal.
Hey, it's your business. I'm just asking a question. Whatever y'all do, if y'all want to flip shoes or you want to flip bands or you flip bricks, that's your business. The question was, if he makes less than you, can you feel secure? And you said yes, as long as he can be able to go out and get what I need. So, got you. I'm with you. King, what you think about that? About your own experience, not hers.
I think for me, the biggest thing is he needs to be able to maintain himself. That's the biggest thing, which is like it should be a given. Um, if we're talking like, if I was making 250 and he's making like 130, I mean that's fine because if we together and we married, we gonna multiply that. It's ours. So like I'm not worried about that. But I also agree he would need to have some type of hustle. I think from seeing like my brothers, my dad, my family, and just my friends, all of them have that. I'm gonna go get it. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, or I don't, I may not have the steps, but I'm committed to researching and finding the steps, and let's go make this happen. If you are just willing to sit and just be like, I don't have it, and then look at me, be like, okay, what you gonna do? I can't do that because I know I'm gonna go and find a way. I'm not going to just sit down and just say, oh, I'm gonna take this L. So if you can't be with me in that same type of mentality to be like, hey, let's either go try to figure this out, or you know what, I got it. Like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go figure it out. And yes, it must be legal because I don't have time for that. But I need to know that like he wants to provide and he wants to find a way to go and get it. Like I shouldn't have to, I don't want to be the head of the household. I've been doing that, taking care of myself right now. I need to know that he takes the responsibility of taking care of the household seriously. And if he has that and can take care of himself, then we're on the right path.
Wow, that was good. Given the profession that I'm in, I already know that, I'm going to say that whether he makes more or less, it's not about the amount you make, it's about you're able to keep and maintain. So, he could make a whole lot more than me, but if he doesn't have good discipline when it comes to money, we're going to feel struggle whether or not he's making less or not. And so for me, it's a matter of, to what King has said, like, you would feel safe, you would feel secure if your mate is going at whatever. And Katika said the same thing. I'm not sure what the other the hustle part for sure is definitely necessary. Like literally, I'm not gonna be the one who allows my family to fall because things have happened. And unfortunately in our culture, people of color, we do have more women than not who are making more, a lot more. I have a lot of good friends who are senior executives and their husbands don't make as much as they do. But they are working together in partnership. And so, we also have to, deal with, unfortunately, if that's the situation, a level of security or insecurity the man is experiencing if we make more. And so if I got to hold you financially and then hold you emotionally and then hold you spiritually, then I don't feel secure. That becomes a problem.
Did you just say like women make more in the world? Women make more money than men?
No, I said in our culture of African
And,
American culture, we
that is
probably
still
see a lot more women, especially if we're talking executive wise, in comparison to, our counterparts. We probably have more women who are making more than our mates. And yes.
That's half true. That is half true. Because if you go to the black demographic, there's actually men actually make more than women when you look at as a whole. But that's why I say it's half true. Because there is probably more women, some women out there that are making more than their mates. But if you look at the whole,
Yep,
you
I'm
you
speaking
go to
for
CDC
African.
or the black demographic.
Yeah, I'm speaking
Because we did a
for
whole show
African
about that before. That's how I remember them numbers we had.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead. What
speaking
you
for
say? I'm
the
sorry.
African American community. Yeah.
Right, the black demographic. Right. If you look it up, it said like because the average salary for a man on there was really low, and he still was making more than the woman. So it was kind of interesting because we did a show about that. So we looked up the numbers, And so
But are we
that's
talking
interesting when you
about
just said that.
people who are doing the same job?
I'm talking about, I guess
Oh,
I'm
you
talking
talking
about
about
more
same.
executive wise. My apologies. I'm talking about executive level positions. If you're probably, if
I'm
you
just talking about over the
assessing
whole, like over a
over the
whole.
whole demographic.
Yeah, the whole demographic. If you look at the numbers on the whole demographic, now if you're talking about something who's better executive or something like that, then I don't know. But the whole demographic as a whole, like I said, because we did a show about it a while back, and we had to pull up the numbers on that, and then that's how I found out those numbers, and then we did numbers with the CDC too, but that's
And
more deeper with everybody.
what was the median salary? Because you mentioned like 40 and 25,000
So
earlier.
the average man makes about 45,000. Like that's an average Joe Blow. But then if you go to, like you said, executive and stuff like that, I had to pull it up, but it was way higher when you get to the executives and things like that. Kyrie, had your hand up?
Yeah, I was just saying I pulled a quick stat based on 2023 information, and it says that Black men, on average, the median is 48,932 annually, and then for women, it's 43,420 annually. And again, this is taking everyone. It's not looking like at a specific position across the board, but just based on the whole demographic of African American men and women.
Yeah, thank you for that. Obi, what's in the chat? What's going on in the chat? And then go to your next question.
I'll read a couple of them real quick before I jump into my next question. But one commenter said, taking notes is a great idea. I'm going to start doing that. A commenter gave Kara a shout out and said, Kara, I don't need for you to be rich and be a butthole. And then we had a male commenter say, yeah, there's no Wednesday night football, but the NBA is rolling tonight. So I guess that when y'all were talking about football a lot. All right, so my next question for the ladies is, what types of things can men do to make a woman feel safe and secure in a relationship? And I know we get it wrong a lot. We want to protect, we are big protectors and want to provide security, but I know that's not the only thing that we have to do. So kind of educate me and Ed and the rest of the fellas out there. Let us know what we need to be doing.
I think the first step is communicating and finding out what the person needs, being on the same page. Like if you're starting a relationship, or even if you're in a relationship with someone and you haven't asked the question, tell me about what I can do or what makes you feel safe. What do I do that makes you feel secure? And are there things that I can do better? And you have to be open-minded to and willing to listen and to be able to change or pivot if what you're currently doing isn't working, or if your intent on what you're doing isn't needs to be something different to work for her.
Yeah, I think that's a really good place to start, is asking the question. Every woman is not going to have the exact same answer. Every woman doesn't have the same thing that makes her feel safe and secure. But some of the basics, do what you say you're going to do. Be dependable. As a man, especially if we're living under the same roof, take care of the car. I shouldn't have to worry about anything with my car. Gas, oil changes, nothing. If anything goes wrong with it, I should just be able to get in my car and drive it and tell you, some light came on the dashboard while I was driving, and I should feel secure enough to know that's all I have to do is tell you that a light came on, because you're going to handle whatever needs to be handled with that. And being present. I think we said that before. Being present and understanding and seeing. Like, we both are probably going to be out there in the world working. Identify when your woman is under stress. and figure out ways to help her. And I think that goes both ways. So don't get me wrong, man, because I think women need to do the same thing for you. But if we're talking about what you can do to make us feel safe and secure, that's a big one. Women have a lot of stressors that come at them, especially Black women, have a lot of stressors that come at them during their 9 to 5, whether it's technically a 9 to 5 or not. Um, the stress of the work environment, coming home, having the responsibilities that you have as a woman at home. If you have children, that adds on top of it. And usually a woman is carrying all of that. Most men are not concerned about cooking or cleaning on a regular. Kids, 9 times out of 10, whatever they need, they're not going to dad. They go straight to mom, and they're asking mom, and mom has to be the one responsible for. She carries the book of appointments. Just identifying when you see her sort of stressing, and find a way to help relieve that stress. If it's a babe, don't worry about it. I got the kids tonight. I'm going to handle homework. I'm going to handle bath time. I'm going to handle putting them to bed. Whatever that looks like for your family and your woman, just be alert and be present and identify that and show her that, you know what, I got you. Period.
It's so funny. I want to dive in for next lady code real quick. Hey, y'all, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. There's 704-891-9560. We want to hear from y'all tonight. Call in. I promise I'm not gonna hang up on y'all. I promise I'll behave. That's the only time to talk for a long time. Get your little 5 seconds on and 10 seconds and get on off the phone. But call on in 704-891-9560. Also, we got a bunch of people that's viewing and some people in the chat. So hit that like button right now. Click that like. I see the numbers are going up. So click the like button. Click it right now. Click the like button. And I want to say this, Obi. I was guilty until I talked to my uncle and my cousin and some other men about not checking on the car.
What?
I'm like, I don't drive this car. So if something's wrong, let me know. But now, and that's what happens when you get wise counsel. You know, it's okay to have wise counsel. So now I know that that's my duty for my next wife, woman, whoever I have, to make sure her car stays gas, make sure her tire stays pumped up, make sure that I go and check. She don't have to tell me she need oil change. I need to know regularly, like, okay, it's time for her oil to get changed. But I was guilty, Obi, of that. I don't know about you, brother, but I was guilty of not checking none of those stuff. And then when she tell me, I'm like, Lord, this is not my car. So I'm thinking in my head, like, car, go. You just driving down the street, but I'm more mindful now.
You gotta know.
That's why I just love having like wise counsel that can guide me through things that I'm still learning about. So
can I say one other thing?
Go ahead, yeah.
I mean, I'm so glad that you said when you got wise counsel. That is also important, to have a woman and to know about safety and security for your woman. Seek out other men, older, but who's doing it right, who can lend you some advice on what to do. Because sometimes men, they never saw it in their lives. And sometimes they might need somebody who's a little bit wiser than them to say, nah, bro, what you doing? And then also, I have a pet peeve myself personally. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Chicago. I am not used to the bugs. I need you to kill the bugs.
That's some big old bugs down It is some big old water bugs down here. Like, Lord have mercy. Okay, can you repeat your question?
He's never liked bugs.
Yeah, I'll repeat the question real quick. But yeah, the car, the yard, the trash, and the bugs, that's our job. That's our job. And I think we as men, even from a young age, if we've been taught by our fathers and grandfathers and uncles, that's something we should always do. And you ladies should never have to worry about it. But my question was, what types of things can men do to make a woman feel safe and secure in a relationship? Anybody else want to jump on that?
I have two. The first one, I would say, like, I know we've been talking about emotionally. I think for me, I would like to see my husband take the lead in being vulnerable. I feel as though I understand that it is hard for men, or it's not something that men typically do, to share their feelings or to like really go deep down and get down to the dirt. But it would be refreshing to see a man take the lead, to be vulnerable, to set the tone for the marriage, for the relationship, for the household, so that not just me but the kids as well know, like, okay, this is a family where we gonna talk. It's a safe space for us to go ahead and say how I feel. And even though we disagree, which may happen, a high chance that it will happen, we know that everybody's respected in the household. And so I think when a man takes that first step to do the actions himself, to be the example, then everything else kind of flows a little more naturally, because it's not forced. He's already made the decision in his mind that he's going to be vulnerable and take the initiative to like create that atmosphere in the relationship. And then the second thing can go for a relationship or just men in general. I probably should have said this one like earlier. But I would say I would love to be advocated for by Black men specifically. I feel like, especially in the media, like we have seen so many tragic things happen to Black men. And when things happen, Black women rally around Black men. And I'm not going to say that Black men don't do it. I know that there are Black men that do, but it is not as prevalently. Like, I don't see it as in my face as I do when the roles or the situation is reversed. And I'm like, I don't want other people coming and saying, oh, Black women are this, or she's bitter, she's angry, she's doing this, which most of the times completely neglects all of the struggles that we do have to go through, but then have to be quiet because things have to get done. And my thing is like, I want to feel like somebody's going to be like, no, don't disrespect her. You can feel however you want to feel, but you're not going to talk to her crazy. Even if you're not my man, just as a community, I want to know that if somebody's disrespecting me, they can be like, hold on, we're not doing it. Feel how you feel, but talk to her with the respect and then keep it pushing.
Hey, real quick, Kenya, those some great points. But I do have a question for you. When you were saying about men being vulnerable, can you give an example of that? Because I didn't really understand it. I don't know if Ed understood it. I just kind of want to know, like, yeah,
Um,
because what I heard you say be vulnerable. You want me to cry, so
or
it's good
now,
for
okay,
everybody
so
else.
maybe not. Okay, if you felt comfortable crying, then cry.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, even if, okay, say like the money, we were talking about money and not making
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like internalizing that, or just feeling some type of way, or like staying in that insecurity, if you were insecure, bringing it to me and saying, hey, I either used to make this much money and now I don't, and because I don't, I feel this way, like I can't provide, or that you feel some way about me because I can't do these things. I like things like that. It doesn't have to be that deep, but I think just going beyond the like, I'm good. It's like it's fine. Or even coming home, if I ask you how your day was, you give me more than, oh, it was like it was work. It was fine. But like tell me about some things that happened in the day. To you, to men, it might not seem like I just went to work. It's not that big a deal. But it gives us insight into what you're doing. Like we want to, well, I'll speak for myself. I want to be a part of my man's life. Like I want to be involved, not just like at home, but I want to know how your day was or what's going on, or because then that helps me know what I need to do then to support you. And so that um I think just being more open or being more willing to be transparent in either how you're feeling
That's
or
the
what's
word.
going on in your life. I think the
Transparent.
transparency adds just another level of like, oh wow, like he's in this, he's taking it seriously, or like I don't know, that he's not playing games. Like he wants to be in this. He wants it to be a partnership, not just we have the titles, but like we are true partners. And I feel like when you like you would do that with women do that with best friends. But as my husband, I feel like we should be best friends in order to communicate in that way as well.
I think when hold on, Kara. I'm gonna let you go next, Kara, and then we'll get back to these questions. I think where Obi's coming from in his statement that he brought up to you, sometimes when we are vulnerable, sometimes when we might shed a tear, sometimes when we might open up, it can be thrown back in our face at a later date. Like, oh, you cried, you were not all women. I'm just not generalizing everyone, but sometimes those things can be brought back in your face. Toughen up, buttercup. Stuff like that. And so we push back from being so vulnerable or so transparent because we don't necessarily want to get the blowback if or get it you like ladies say it all the times. They don't feel safe saying things around you because they don't want you to use it against them later. We feel the same exact way sometimes. We may not feel safe crying in front of you or showing some type of emotion. Now it's like we don't have emotional intelligence. Now we're weak. Now we're this, that, and the third. And then it's like it takes a strong woman. I don't like to use a strong black woman phrase. It's a strong woman in general to be cool and not throw it back in her face. But then you have other little Tatianas out there, Obi, that might not feel the same way that you young ladies feel. So that's why Obi is coming from.
But that's when you got to do the assessing. You got to do the assessing, Edmund. I mean, at the introduction, if you getting Tatiana, you be clear about that at the beginning. And so, not to say that Tatiana can't grow up and become a mature woman who does have some sensibility about herself, but no, I think a mature woman wants that vulnerability. A mature woman, I think the strength that a man can display is his vulnerability. That's to see a man cry to me is strength, because we know that you are, you're human. We know that you have the ability to have a situation occur, that causes an emotion that evokes crying. And so a mature woman could appreciate that, because that's you being transparent. If you faking it till you make it and pretending, that's going to be an issue down the road. Like what's wrong with this dude? Because if you can't show your own emotion, then you're looking at me like, what you crying for? What's wrong with you?
That is.
And I was just joking. I know Kyra wants to jump in, Jackie wants to jump in, and then we got to get back to these questions. And Obi, you got to look at these chats. They're going crazy, so we got to get to them too.
I wanted to read them. I know.
The Tatiana, but you might think, man, Jackie's a good woman. You might, because you really don't know. I guess you got to vet them a while, I'm guessing, and really get to know.
Shouldn't it be?
Go ahead.
You shouldn't be vulnerable off jump. Like when you're meeting somebody, they have to earn that vulnerability. So when I was talking about vulnerability, I said my husband. At that point, I done already vetted you. I done already did all of the things. And so we've already established a relationship. Now, if we just talking about a boyfriend and girlfriend, there's levels to vulnerability. You give as you receive and it's reciprocated back, but you don't just date somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody in the first month, you just going straight for the vulnerability. I'm not expecting that from a man to go like the hardcore stuff. Take it baby steps, and then it will eventually evolve into a man feeling comfortable to share his deepest emotions, or maybe a deeper level of emotion. But I don't think that that argument that, it's thrown back in your face. I think you also have to show some discernment when you are vulnerable and who you're vulnerable with.
Go ahead, Kyra, and then Jackie.
Yeah, I was just going to say two things. I think that as a woman in a relationship, it's important to have like that communication and that connection with your man, because sometimes men come compartmentalize things. And some people might not like their job, or they don't want to bring the issues that they face at their job home. And so they're just happy to be away from there and don't really want to talk about it. So I think it's just important to have the conversations. And then secondly, something that makes me feel secure, that is something small, is like, if you're going somewhere, or if I'm going on a trip, let me know you make it safely. Or just tap in so I know that you got home okay. Or a phone call. Like if I left your house, there should be like a text message or a phone call, communicating that you are concerned about my safety, that I'm not out there on the road somewhere, and that I made it to my destination okay. That's something that means a lot to me.
Jackie?
I wanted to go back to the being vulnerable part for men. And I think the disclaimer, I think we all were kind of under the assumption that the foundation was laid in the relationship already. So you are in a relationship. So hopefully, if you chose Tatiana, Ed, that
No more
she is
Tatiana for
growing,
me.
and you
No.
and you guys are getting some outside help, so Tatiana can grow and mature intellectually to be able to handle you being vulnerable with her. I think in general, women understand. And I say black men, and I think it's all men, but I say black men because that is where my experience is. That's who I look to. That's who I identify as king, a black man. And so we as women understand that you bear the weight of the world on your shoulders. So you're not good all the time. Your woman should be the person that you can sit down and be literally raw, open, vulnerable. Like, this is the safest place you got. She should be that. And vice versa. You should be that for her. So this person should be someone that you can go to. And if, guess what? The weight is becoming too heavy, and you need to drop a tear because you're frustrated, because you might not know what direction to take, she's the one who you should be able to go lay your head in her lap, and you should be able to cry it out and then be like, okay. And she should be the person that can say, okay, you know what? This is what I heard. This is what I see. This is what we need to do. And to be able to give you some advice, to say, hey, maybe you can try it this way, or maybe let's do things a little bit differently, so that way you're not feeling so stressed from whatever. So I think that men need to sort of reassess and understand that if this woman is your ride or die, and she really should be your ride or die, then whatever is going on, you should be able to talk to her. You should be able to express that, even sometimes if you haven't put all the pieces to the puzzle together. Because I think a lot of times that's what men do. They're trying to put all the pieces to the puzzle together before they come and talk to their woman about things. And that's really, you should be talking to her right at the onset of things, when things start to feel frustrated and you feel like, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing here. She should be the one you confide in. So I see you smiling, Ed, but really, that I think that I hope that that's the kind of relationship that we're all striving to be in.
No, I'm smiling because I'm like, I'm in a whole new season of my life. Ain't nobody out no Tatiana. I just made a joke, ladies and gentlemen, in the chats before y'all try to kill me online, because I'm looking for a wife, not a thought. I'm just saying and put that
Trust
out
me, I
there.
know you're. Trust me, I know you're not looking for that.
But you just mentioned that there are others on here. So Kenya said something very, very valid.
Hold on, Anita, real quick. I'm gonna just get back to that point. Hey, y'all, right now we got a bunch of people that have joined. We got some new people. Hey, subscribe to the channel. I see a lot of new names I've never seen before. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. Come on, join the Nutz and Boltz family. Subscribe every week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We always on here. We also have different topics. We always looking for people to come on the show and have a discussion like we're doing tonight. So again, I see a lot of new people in the chat. Click the like button and subscribe. And I'm letting Anita finish with your point, and then Obi, we're gonna get some of these chats.
Hey, before Anita goes, just want to let you guys know tonight it's okay to be Team Kyra. I'll take all of that. Go ahead, Anita. Go ahead, Anita. I had to sneak that in there, Ed. I had to sneak it in there.
Right, before they start saying it, right. They're gonna start saying it in a minute. I seen the Team Nita in there too in the chat a minute ago.
You really needed your permission to be Team
Go ahead, Nita. Finish cooking. They cooking tonight, man.
No, I was going to say, too, we probably did need to have the conversation because there are individuals who you're stating will probably, if they're not online now live, they may do a replay back to know that, there are different stages as far as relationships. We were different in our 20s versus our 30s, 40s, and those who are mature than that number, things are different. So you're looking at relationships different. So if I had to tell my younger self what was I looking for to be safe and secure, it'd definitely be a lot different where I am today. But my journey was my journey. And so we also have to be careful about, the spirit of manipulation that can come into these relationships too. So you may be playing the part of what you think I need to be secure. But what really would help, Obi, is you need to be really authentic in whatever that is. Authenticity is huge.
Yeah.
And I'll see that long before we get any further in our relationship.
Why you call me out? Nita, did I do something wrong?
No, you were just saying something.
Write that down.
You talk to Kyra.
That was your question about being vulnerable. We just want to make sure people are not being manipulative and just try to get somebody to buy in. So
I'm gonna piggyback off of Kyra. Write that down.
Hey, I'm taking notes, like for real. I'm taking notes.
Me too. I gotta be looking down. I'm not trying to get a divorce, nothing like that ever again. I want to make sure I have good communication next time I settle down.
That part.
What's going on in chat, Obi?
Okay, did anybody else answer that question before I jump into the chat?
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody else want to answer the question before I jump into the chat? Okay, real quick. It's a lot of comments, man. One commenter says, I know finances are very important, but I don't think it has a real impact on great relationships if both parties have some real conversations about it and they understand what they need to make. Another commenter said, listen to her, and even when she is being over dramatic, that's her reality, so it's important.
Because some women, we can be dramatic. That's true.
I'll say that again. Listen to her, even when she's being over dramatic. Kyra does that a lot. That's why she's snapping her fingers.
Really? I'm over dramatic.
No, keep going, Obi. No, Kyra, you good. Keep going.
Next comment said, guidance and counseling helps to put things in check. It is important to seek counseling. That's super important.
That's huge. That's huge.
Another commenter says, I'm a part of a Christian men's group that gets together and we just hang out. And it's a great outlet for all of us to get a good understanding of what it takes to have a healthy and happy relationship. That's some good stuff.
Yep.
One commenter said, women love to be protected by men, irrespective of the race or color. I would stay with the man who protects me and who has my best interest than be with a man who doesn't. Understood. Another comment that says, we definitely talked about this on the previous show. People say cry now, but don't respect it later. Vulnerability should not be defined by a man's tears. That's a great point. And then there's some Team Kyra mess that we're just gonna overlook right now. But go ahead and the last comment says, people need to remember to date and not rush into these relationships. Looks can be deceiving. Ain't that right, Ed? Looks can be deceiving.
You know I know.
For real. And when you take the time to get to know each other and actually listen, you will see all the red flags. True indeed.
Now, I have a question for I don't know, for the late, well, just for everybody on the panel here. I know as women we have been told when you are dating someone, pay attention to how the man interacts with his mother. And if your mother is in your life, what kind of relationship do you have with her? Do you all think, men on the line, that carries over into how you treat a woman?
I have a great relationship with my mom. Thank God she's still alive. I have a great relationship with. Um, I had a great relationship with both my grandmothers, and one of them is passed, but they both taught me a lot. I talk to my mom every day. Um, I definitely make her a priority, and I think that the woman that's in your life, you should make her a priority as well. But I have a great relationship, and I think any person that doesn't have a great relationship with their parent, whether it's a man or woman, I don't think that's the person you need to be in a relationship with. Because to me, it sends red flags. I can't speak for nobody else.
Oh, they time made me be vulnerable and cry on this podcast. They know I don't talk about my
Hey,
mama
wait a
around
minute.
like that.
Let me turn my
No, but
camera around so I can record it.
no, my
Let me.
mom, she passed away one night.
Yeah.
But
Great woman.
but I had a great relationship with my mother. She always called me before she called my other siblings that lived closer to her to take her places, and I didn't have no problem with that. We went to church together. She was actually gonna move to Carolina with me, so I had a great relationship with my mom, and I try to have a great relationship with any female I have. I don't look at a female like you got to be like my mom because I just don't do that. Like people do, like or they say you got to be like my dad. I get it, but I never look at a female like you have to be like my mother. But I did have a great relationship with my mother, and I do want a respectful woman like my mother, and a God-fearing woman like my mother. And Jackie will tell you my mother like never used any profanity or anything like that. If she tried to cuss, it probably won't sound right if she did. It probably sound like, what did you just say? Did you put two curse words together? What? But yeah, I had a great relationship with her. And I think men that disrespect their mothers, don't have a great relationship with their mothers, are not gonna be great husbands either.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't respect the person that birthed you, how you gonna respect this lady that you laying up with? It don't one and one make two, not one and one makes five. It don't make sense. Like they say, make it make sense, Obi. So if you're treating your mother like trash, and you can just like, I don't even like to use profanity for my grandmother. Like I'm in front of my auntie, in front of, like I rarely use profanity in front of like ladies like that. So if you can go and you can just belittle your mother or argue with her or yell and cuss and fuss at her, I believe that's going to translate to how you want to treat that woman. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree, Ed. Well, for the people that I don't go to church with, when I watch football, I like to drink. I don't drink a lot. I just drink a couple of, just to have a good time. But I don't drink in front of my mom at all. I have alcohol in the house, and she knows that. But I would never have a drink in front of her, just out of respect that I have for her. But that's just me.
I just started drinking from my grandma and them like a couple years ago. They was
Mm-mm.
like, Granny looking, G-Mom looking.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. But
Did we answer your question, Nita?
Yes, you did. And someone mentioned something about counseling earlier, because I think there are some men out there who may not necessarily have it, but know that there's a possibility that if some of that triggering issue of that dysfunction is carrying over to my relationship, if you care enough about me, you're going to see about getting some help about that situation.
So I have
And if
another.
not,
Go ahead.
She said,
I was putting up two
Oh,
fingers.
that's the middle finger. I couldn't see. Oh, she just give us a middle finger. This is a family show. Yeah, we curse on sometimes. So I got another question for you, ladies, and I don't know if always is answered already. It might have been in the context of everything we've been talking about thus far. But my question is, how can a man? And let me know if y'all ever kind of, Kyra, let me know if y'all kind of answered this already. But can a man? How can a man be more supportive to a woman when they don't feel safe and secure? So if you don't feel safe and secure, how can we change that narrative? How can we be more supportive to you to make you feel safe and secure?
I think by trying to cultivate the relationship, and in addition to like asking questions to the female, sharing where you're at and letting her know that there might be issues in the relationship that need to be addressed, especially if that is what's triggering you not being or the catalyst of what's disabling you from being there for her. It's not easy to sit there and have someone tell you all this stuff about them or be someone's supporter and you don't feel supported. It's not easy to listen to somebody and you don't feel heard. So just being able to discuss it as a whole for the relationship so that both people can be supported.
Anybody want to dive into that question? If you don't feel safe and secure with a guy, how can he? What can he do to make you feel safe and secure? Oh, before you answer that, hold on. We got a call. Hold on. What's going on, y'all? Y'all on the air, Nutz and Boltz. First question, like always, is: are you Team Kyra or Team Obi?
Oh, man, I don't know which way I'm leaning. I'm kind of neutral today, so I don't, ain't no certain direction that I'm leaning in any way. But I do want to comment on the young lady who talked about the relationship with your mother. I came from a single mother home. It was a mom who built me and made me into the man that I am. And there's a stipulation out there that women can't make men to be men. But if you guys had a mama like me who was 10 toes down, stomped down, don't care if your priest call you ugly, get your ass up, it's really about discipline. There's some things that you're going to do in your life that's going to change you and that's going to make you become a man. So yeah, the relationship with your mom is with a man and the relationship with his mom is very, very, very important. You definitely have to have the discernment and take that into consideration. My mom is my best friend, and she's taught me everything that I become to be a man to know of. It just came from her. So I'm gonna lay my plane there. Great show, guys. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Carla. Good stuff.
I wanted to add another thing to answer the last question, and I think that men, women, anybody can take self-assessment quizzes or questionnaires so that they can see what their answers are and be able to identify areas of opportunity for communication or relationships, stuff like that. I think that's a free resource that people have access to that can be taken advantage of. And sometimes also counseling can help you understand where you are, why you're there, how you got there, and how you can change the path forward. Because you could have, like, speaking about moms, some people have great relationships with their moms. Some people have very damaged relationships with their moms, and people's moms have torn them down. And so if there's that resentment stemming from inside of that childhood trauma, and they're not able to even emotionally process or recognize that they have went through some trauma and that different things are triggering, and as a result of those triggers, they react this way and not being able to be supportive or not being able to make you feel safe emotionally, physically, psychologically. There's something there. So I think just being able to analyze oneself and be honest with yourself of where you're at and where you want to be.
Just piggyback on what Kyra just said, that is huge. As someone who has done trauma certification, when you tap into that, come to discover that you do have a childhood trigger that stems from abandonment, rebellion, whatever that will be, you are carrying that over into your relationship if you don't get that inner healing work done. And that's going to be damaging for that person that you're entering into that relationship with. And sometimes hurt people find hurt people. So now you got two calamities that are happening. So you have to be careful about that.
That's a fact.
Edmund, I want to touch on your question of how can a man help a woman to feel more secure if she's not safe and secure if she's not feeling that way already. I think just being trustworthy to be there and to find out what she needs. Again, you have to ask her what she needs in order to feel safe and secure. But I would add this note, and I don't know if a lot of people have paid attention to it, but if you find a couple where a woman is in a relationship with a man who makes her feel safe and secure, there is a certain confidence that comes from that woman that you don't get. And I'm not talking about somebody comparing her to women who are not confident and secure in who they are individually. There's something about the confidence that she exudes when she has a man who makes her feel safe and secure, who she knows has got her back. There is a difference in, I guess, how she presents herself to the world, how she walks in the world, how she holds herself and carries herself in the world. It's a different level of confidence. But I also wanted to tap into the the relationship with parents. And I think that goes both ways with the men and with the women. If there is a damaged relationship with the parents, you 9 times out of 10, that person is carrying something with them that they've carried with them for a long time if they have not tried to get some help that they carry into other relationships. And one thing that a running joke in my family that we have with my niece, who's raising all boys, is to understand that you're not raising him for yourself. You are raising him for his wife. So make sure that you're teaching him to be a good husband, because I think yes, men definitely add some value to share with boys growing up to help them to be men and better men. But there is no one in the world that can tell a son or a young man the types of things that he needs to do to be a great husband than a woman who has who either would like to be a wife or who is a wife. She can absolutely lend that information to her son. So that's something that I think all women need to understand when you're raising boys. And and when you're raising girls, you are raising this person. They're gonna be with someone. And just remember that the drama and the trauma that it's a part of their life, they're carrying that into that relationship.
And we got two more quick questions because we want to be here all night. This conversation can go for like 3 hours. I don't got time for that. I gotta go to bed and live. I'm tired. So I'm gonna let Obi has one more. I'm gonna ask one more question. Then we'll do our final thoughts and then read some of the chat and get on out of here and keep everybody all night long. Obi, ask your final question.
All right, just real quick. Can you guys, or can you women? I'm sorry. Can you probably like let us know what can we do to make you feel safe when you are trying to open up to us?
It's a good one, Obi.
Like, what kind of things can we do to make you feel safe to open up to us?
Kyra, go ahead, jump in, Kyra.
I would say listen. Sometimes it's helpful to mirror during the conversation so that I know that you heard what I said, mirror what the person says. So, like, how was your day? I had a really rough day at work. Tell me what made it rough. I heard you say it was rough. What happened? Do you want to talk about it? And I think sometimes listening to listen. I know that often a lot of men are fixers and want to be like, well, you should do this and you should do this, and have a whole project plan on how to change whatever's going on at work. But just being that ear to listen, and being sincere and just really communicating that you want to like take it to the next level and engage in that like emotional safety.
Yeah, I would agree. Listening is definitely a big part of making a woman feel secure when she's trying to be open and being vulnerable with you. Um, Something very simple for me, I don't know. A lot of women want it. I want to be spoiled. And I don't necessarily mean that in a way of buying me things. When you know, or if I've told you that I had a rough day, just be like, babe, you know what? I'm sorry that you had a rough day today. Come on over here, sit down, take your shoes off, or maybe the next day I'm coming in and you might have a bubble bath running for me because you know I've
Don't
been
do that bubble
stressed out.
bath, though. Don't do that. The bubble
Or
bath might get a little too spicy.
whatever, and that you might need that spice. You might need that. But or if I'm telling you that it was a stressful day, massaging my shoulders, just spoil me a little bit, and make me feel like the most feminine woman ever. Like that's if I've had a rough day, I just want to be baby girl at home. I just want to be the most feminine, spoiled person in the house. That kind of feeling and emotion. That's a part of being able to feel like you can be vulnerable. Because that's a feeling for me. I know he's got me.
Jackie, I want to ask you a quick question. I'm sorry, Obi.
Mhm.
Just popped in my head. So, what if somebody said they going through something and they don't, and should like, how should a guy respond to that? And to be there for them, but maybe they just want to be alone right now. Maybe just want to be in their own space right now. So you don't want to. You want to show compassion. You want to show that empathy. You want to show I'm there. You want to show I'm caring, but you don't want to force it on them. What's going on? What's wrong with you? What can I do for you? And they're like, damn, bro, slow down, relax. You know what I'm saying? So how can we show that we all this without pushing? It won't be a tug of war. I'm trying to show you this, but you like just give me some space without saying me space. And I don't want to not say it, and then to give you space, and you like, dang, I want to be spoiled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can we, find common ground with that?
Being
Because women do that
understanding and
sometimes. They say they're going through
communication.
something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Being understanding and communication. If she says, I need some space. I'm stressed out right now. I just need to be alone to unwind. And you say, okay. And you give her that space and that time. So if she comes home from work and she's like, I'm stressed out. I just need a minute. Give her that minute. Later on in the evening, you go back and you say, how are you feeling? Babe, what you need? What can I do to help you de-stress and kind of unwind? What do you need? And if she's like, I just need a minute, I think in the relationship, hopefully y'all have had a conversation where you understand when she says, I need a minute, what that looks like tangibly in time,
Right.
and you know what to give her. And that's a learning process. And so I think it's okay to ask questions about, like, once she has come out of that, it's okay to go to her and say, you know what, babe, when you say give me a minute, I don't really know what that looks like. Like, how much time, when you say that, how much time are you expecting me to give you? Because I don't want to walk away and make you feel like I'm not in tune and I'm not connected to you. Like I just walked away and don't care. But for me, I need to know what does that look like? And engage in that conversation with her to find out. So next time, now you know. Her give me a minute is give me to tonight, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Or it's give me an hour, give me a couple of hours. Let me take my clothes off, let me get a shower or a bath, put my pajamas on. Okay, and now I'm feeling a little bit better. what's up. We can talk about whatever. It's just understanding your woman.
Yeah.
And that comes in communication. That comes in talking about it, not being afraid to ask. I don't know what that looks like.
Mhm.
You talking about you need a minute? How long is a minute?
Right. I think another example too could be, I'm here for you whenever you're ready to talk about it. You know, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Can I give you a hug for now? Things like that. And I wanted to circle back to Obi's question. I had one other thing that I thought about in terms of what a man can do. And I think a man, as a man, you can be in sync with the woman that you're in a relationship with. Like if we talk multiple times a day or every day, you should be able to hear the inflection or the tone in my voice just from me answering the phone and know whether I'm okay or had a rough day or we need to pray. Like just from that 2 seconds of me answering the phone, if you're in sync and in tune, you should know.
The tone, a look. Like you should know your woman's looks. When she gives a certain look, you like, okay, let's pack it up. Let's go, cause it's about to be World War III around here.
Right.
It's just being in tune with each other, and that it's a beautiful thing when it happens. But it's not something that happens overnight. It definitely takes time to learn each other, and vice versa. She should be able to look at you and know, like, okay, he is not good. Let me figure this out.
Did anybody else want to answer the question? Like, ladies, what can men do to make you guys feel safe when opening up to us?
And this is gonna be the last question, Obi. I'm not gonna go after you.
Okay.
That was a good ending.
Okay.
It's almost tomorrow.
I think there should be some acknowledgement and some understanding as to how you're lacking in providing with security and support. Because if you don't know what you're lacking in, how can you fix it? And how can I know that you're gonna fix it if you're like on the whole other side of making me feel secure? How can you fix it if you don't even know like where you're lacking? Maybe if I need you to open more doors or bring back chivalry at like 100%, if you don't know that's what I want, how can I expect you to know how to fix it?
All right, so this is what we're about to do. Hey, Obi, so when we get to you, I want you to read some of the chat and give your final thoughts. So, Katika, we're going to stay right with you. Only thing I want you to do is give us your final thoughts about the sum of the show. Just as a quick final thought, what you thought about the show. And we're going to go around the board.
I mean, I thought it was a really good topic. I mean, a lot of women do not feel safe and secure. And a lot of men are right now lacking on making us feel safe and secure. Most men can make us feel safe and secure on the inside of the household, and they need to, push it outside so everyone else sees that, hey, this is my woman and I got her and she's safe and secure. So I thought it was a really good topic.
Thank you. Kenya, what you think about the topic as a whole?
I thought it was a great topic as well. I think something I got just from hearing everybody, like everybody has stuff going on, has past and traumas and things like that. I think if we would focus more on our own individual healings, that would cut a lot of the back and forth, because if you're already healed or you're on your way to becoming more healed, then you have the mental capacity to be able to, be vulnerable or even entertain the idea of expressing your emotions. Because typically healing means you've been in some sort of environment where your thoughts and feelings were accepted and heard and validated, which means you can then give it to somebody else. So I think just focusing on making sure that they're doing their due diligence in healing any areas that they see fit to just to be given the opportunity in the future to do that for someone else.
Thank you. Ms. Nita, what's your final thoughts about the show?
I think it should be a part 2 because there's just a little bit more color to add to the picture. This question about being safe and secure is huge for women. especially Black women, because we feel like we are the last to be considered when it comes to our safety and security. So great job. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ms. Jackie, your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I think this was a great topic. I think we should definitely have a part two, but let's add some men in and find out what their thoughts are on safety and security in a relationship and providing that, because yeah, we're telling you what it is that we need, but we also need to kind of hear what men think about that themselves. Like, what's their stance on safety and security, and traditionally, what does that look like for them? But yeah, great topic. I think that as long as we keep talking about these types of things, that will definitely grow and mature in relationships, and hopefully it'll save somebody's relationship.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Kyra.
I think that it was such a good topic to discuss in setting the foundations and building healthy relationships. And even if your relationship is at an unhealthy point, being able to pivot and work towards making it more healthy through open communication. And no one is a mind reader. I know I'm not a mind reader, and the people I've been in relationships with have not been mind readers. So you need to communicate effectively where you are, sometimes where you've been, and where you want to be, so that you can be there with that person that you're in the relationship with.
Thank you, Miss Wax Deep. DJ Kyra. Obi, what you got? What's your final words, brother?
I'm going to read a couple of comments real quick, and then I'll tell you my final word. But a lot of people in the chat were saying, like, great topic, amazing panelists, a great topic, great topic. We should do it again. Yeah, so overall, in my opinion, I think it was a great show. I think we were very engaged in the chat, and thanks to the panelists. And I agree with everybody. I think we need to do a part two, but I think when we do the part two, it needs to be our time to kind of say what safety and security means to us. So let's plan it and do it.
Oh, but you don't feel safe and secure? No, I was kidding.
I can't be vulnerable.
So that was our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think this was a excellent topic. I think we had some of the best ladies you can ask for to come on the show. They was very engaging. They did a great job. And fellas, just watching it now, watch it on the rebroadcast, watch it on somebody send it to you. The main thing I heard from a lot of these ladies is communication. Ask questions. Make them feel safe and secure. And the only way you can do that by figuring out your partner, talking to your partner, having that dialogue with them, with her, and knowing what safe and secure means to that individual, because it might mean something different to another individual. So whoever you're dating, to court, to marry, and I hope we out here courting, and we're gonna have a show about courting too. It's coming up, y'all. Actually, that's gonna be the next show, I believe. But make sure you're learning her and asking those questions to make her feel safe with you. If you'd like to be on next week's show, and next week's show is called, give me a second. I'm sorry, I should have been more prepared. I'll make sure I say this right. I kind of alluded to it just a second ago. Where that? I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, next week's show is men. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't think of the name of the topic now. My bad. So I can't think of the topic next week's show, but it got something to do with. I sent it to my producer, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't want to misquote it. You got it, Kyra?
No, I said tune in to find out.
Tune in, exactly. Tune in to find out what next week's topic is. Oh, okay. Next week's topic is courting is hard. That's why men don't do it. That's next week's topic. Courting is hard. That's why men don't do it, or men stay away from it.
On that show.
So we're going to talk about that next week. If you'd like to be on a panel, we're looking for all men panel for next week. If you'd like to be on a panel, you can hit myself up on Facebook, Edmund Chapman, or you can hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can email me at eddieed30. If you'd like to be on next week's show, it's talking about why men stay away from courting because of it being hard, so they say. Also, if you'd like for us to advertise any of your business, if you got some type of business you want to advertise, again, you can hit up Tashina Nicole on Facebook, or you can hit myself up, Evan Chapman, on Facebook, or you can email me at eddieed30 on eddieed30. You can email me. Sorry. Normally I have a little pronto to come up. My bad. I don't know where she is. She might be sleeping. That's not so, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say again, thanks to the all our guests that came on. They were excellent guests. I love this topic. And we have to do part 2. We might bring back the same people, might bring back a couple more people. I don't know, but we will do a part 2. But like I say, every single week, I love you. God loves you. Go out and be great on purpose. Peace out, y'all.
I think my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in.